Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Viewer Beware. We read more Goosebumps books.
Month 6.
Month 6? Oh god, this is halfway through the first trial year we're calling it.
Is there an option where we opt out of this at the end of the year?
Yeah, there is. We get to the end of the 12 months and we go, oh dear lord, can we stomach it? But we're gonna...
We're doing alright so far.
We're getting there.
Yeah.
You've been waiting for Haunted Mask for a while.
Yeah, I said in the first video, this is going to be my pick for number 1. At least I'm projecting that it will be my pick for number 1.
That was something that you bet money on.
Yeah.
$100,000,
I believe it was.
$100,000? Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
I don't think I took you up on that bet, but you've got the footage.
I'm making that up. All dogs go to heaven too, Jared.
No, I haven't. Not allowed to play along with jokes.
Okay.
So I want to give you a second just to gush about Haunted Mask before we even get started.
Yeah.
I want to hear one noise. I want to get all the excitement out in one noise.
Ooh.
Okay, that was a little too sexual, but I'll take it. So.
What is the other book we read this month, Jared?
There is no other book. Don't look at it. Don't look at it. Don't look at it.
You're gonna have to pick that up now. Yeah.
Yes, dear. New stage.
Yeah, new filming space. We'll see how this goes.
Yeah. Say hi to the Wollongong dickheads walking past on a Friday night party. We're out here talking about children's horror books.
That's better.
Yeah,
that's much better. Okay. So, Haunted Mask. Yes, it lives up to the hype. It was good. I think this is the first book we've had where I feel like the story was driven by the main character almost entirely.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
The book is about her flaws, what she wants, and by the end of the story we get a pretty complete character arc. And the horror is a little more mysterious and abstract. Normally it's like shadow monster or your reflection or moose deuce.
Mm-hmm.
But the conflict is losing your humanity and identity, which is fucking terrifying. This was pretty good. I liked Haunted Mask. What did you think of it, Jared?
Pretty much everything that you said.
Yeah.
However, I am going to have a little bit of a woof about it.
It's not perfect.
It's not perfect, but it's Goosebumps. So we're never going to find a perfect Goosebumps book. I'm going to claim that now. There is no perfect Goosebumps book. I wouldn't even see this as a problem with the book. It's just something that I feel about it. It is the most completely focused book we've had. The whole book is basically one night. It's just Halloween. We're mainly focusing on the one main character, Carly Beth. I'd like to say, I have never remembered the names of any of these Goosebumps characters. I remember Carly Beth because it's a good name and it's a good book and she's a good character. So, do that more, Mr. Stein. So my problem with the book, mainly comes from its greatest strength. It's like what I say about the first Raimi Spider-Man movie. One of the best things about that movie is it has the world's best pacing.
Yes.
But then because of that, there's no time for anything to breathe.
Yes.
It's just constantly perfectly going. That book is so focused that it feels a little hollow because we're spending so much time on Carly Beth in the mask. I feel like she has an arc, but I don't really see it a lot. All of the other characters in the story, they're just there just kind of to propel Carly Beth along. They don't really have anything going on.
I definitely felt that with the ending.
The ending, yeah.
Yeah.
I had a bit more, I don't know. Yeah, it's just kind of a whole general vibe of the book is completely focused, but because of that it can feel a bit hollow, but I know it's not.
It's 120 pages and the print's fairly large. So getting that meat, it was going to be hard.
Yeah. So it's greatest strength is that it's completely focused, but weakness is that because of that it feels a little light. But it's really good anyway. Tell us what it's about.
Okay, so the book follows Carly Beth Caldwell, and she is a scaredy cat. And I hear what you're saying, Hadley, every single fucking Goosebumps book, the main character is a scaredy cat. This is the twist though. In this book, the fact that she's a scaredy cat is the conflict of the book. Usually people just get scared by things, but with Carly Beth, her friends, her bullies basically torment her prank after prank by scaring her. One of them pinches her neck and she's like, oh, it's a spider. And someone just puts a worm in her sandwich once.
I think, quickly riffing on that, I think that's why the cliffhangers work the best in this book. Because you're a bit like, oh no, Carly Beth thinks that there's a fucking demon behind her about to rip her in half, and it's like obviously just her friends pulling a prank on her, but it works, because then you feel her embarrassment afterwards. She's like, oh my fucking god, it was just my fucking friend pulling a prank on me. It's good.
I really like the ones in Golden Crow Monster as well, based on the fact whether it's the main character that's doing the cliffhanger.
Yeah.
It's like the polar opposite of that.
The other best book that we've read?
Citation needed. One issue I had with the opening of this book is the first chapter is basically all tell, don't show. Her best friend Sabrina is like listing off all the times that she's been scared. And I feel like we're reliving the opening to Attack of the Clones where Obi-Wan and Anakin are talking about all the adventures they've been on.
Yeah.
But aside from that, it was pretty good. So basically there's a bunch of tormenting for a little chunk of the book. She goes home and her mum's like, hey Carly Beth, look what I made in art class. And it's called the Plaster of Paris, the material. It's a plaster head of Carly Beth. And she explicitly says that I made it because I love you. And Carly Beth is pretty unimpressed with it. It's like, okay, cool, Mom. And she also mentions that she's made her Halloween costume this year and it's a duck costume. And Carly Beth doesn't want to dress up as a duck because she's going to get made fun of more. But Mom's like, no, but you pointed out the duck costume at the mall and I wanted to make a duck costume for you. No. So Carly Beth wants a new Halloween costume that's going to scare everyone. She's going to get her revenge.
Yeah, because she's sick of it this year.
Absolutely. She doesn't want to get scared anymore. So she finds this old Halloween shop and there's...
Guy wears a cape.
Guy wears a cape. The guy there, it's very important that he wears a cape. We don't find a lot else about him at this point. I was kind of picturing him as Vincent Price, but Carly Beth's like, I need a scary mask. Oh, yes, here is Gorilla Mask.
Yes. I have a very scary werewolf mask. Would you like to wear that one?
And,
No.
She's unimpressed. These are cheap plastic masks. The shop vendor is like, you don't find the gorilla mask scary? Well, here's this Star Trek mask with pointy ears. And the only thing I could infer from that was this man was more scared of Spock than a gorilla. I agree.
Could it have been a reference to the Michael Myers mask?
Why?
Because that was a William Shatner Star Trek.
Yeah.
Mask. Yeah.
I doubt it. I don't think these books ever get that deep.
Oh, that was an Elm Street reference.
Yeah, but it was never that, indirect. It's not like he says, here's a Leonard Nimoy mask. Doesn't even say Spock. He says Star Trek mask with pointy ears.
Oh yeah, I said William Shatner.
Yeah.
Sorry, Nate. I don't know. I feel like there could be something there, but I'm also not going to die on this hill.
Okay,
So move
very
on.
good.
Go on, move on.
So Carly Beth's exploring the Halloween store and she finds the secret section that she wasn't supposed to know about, and it's got all these super realistic, scary masks. They're covered in blood. They all look like they have real skin, and she picks out this mask, which I don't know how well they go into describing it in the book, but it's basically, speaking of Spider-Man 1, it looks like the Green Goblin.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the vendor finds her and is like, no, these masks, they're not for sale. You can't have them. They're too scary.
I just want to check my notes quickly.
Yeah, sure. We usually do that at the end of this.
I know. I'm pretty sure I actually wrote down in my notes that you could just add in a few references. There's only a few steps away from being a Spider-Man Halloween story. It could just be a girl found one of the Green Goblin's masks for Halloween.
Finish it.
No, yeah, I wrote that. Yep.
Nice. There you go. Okay. And she basically bullies the man into giving her the mask. It's like, this is my money.
Here's the fucking money. Give me the spooky mask.
It's like she gives him $30, was it?
Yeah.
Masks like that would cost hundreds.
Yeah.
So I think he just was sick of talking to her and said, fine, but don't say I didn't warn you. So she takes the mask home and she has this plan to scare her younger brother. So she puts the mask on and she's like, ooh, I got you, brother. And her voice has changed.
Ooh, I got you, brother.
Yeah, like that. Yeah, she sounded exactly like that.
Yeah.
And then the little brother isn't impressed. Oh, why'd you have to scare me for, Carly Beth? And then she's just like, oh, I'm just preparing for Halloween. I'm just showing off my new mask. And then she goes to take it off, but she's having trouble with it. And she's, oh, I can't take it off. And the little brother's getting even scareder. And then she does take it off. So she's okay for now. So Sabrina comes over, I think.
I think they just meet up.
Yeah, Carly Beth has a plan where she's got a little prop she's going to use. She takes the plaster of Paris head and she sticks it on a broom, I think.
I hate that you're calling it the plaster of Paris head.
Well, they keep calling it that.
You have to, but I just hate hearing it out loud.
I don't want to say just plaster because they never call it just plaster.
Just say the fake Carly Beth head.
The fake Carly Beth head, she puts it on a broomstick and she's going to run around saying, oh, I killed Carly Beth, look at her head.
This is the old Carly Beth, I kill her.
Yeah, exactly. It's like Star Wars, how Anakin killed Darth Vader.
Yeah.
Or is it the other way around?
This is spoilers, you can't mention this.
No. So they meet up, Sabrina's dressed as Catwoman, and they go trick-or-treating. They go to a house, and the mum's giving them candy, and there's two kids there, and Carly Beth goes to scare the kids, and the mum's not having it, and
Stop scaring the kids, I'm going to call your parents.
You get me chopped.
Carly Beth goes, fuck you, slut, and she runs away.
Yeah, she gets such an attitude, and she pisses off. And Sabrina's starting to get a bit worried, and then Carly Beth goes to choke her.
Yeah.
And then
that was weird.
And Carly Beth's like, oh, sorry, I don't know what came over me. I'm okay though, don't worry about it, it's cool. Hey, I got an idea, let's split up and we'll get more candy that way. Sabrina, she's a bit apprehensive, but at this point, she's just going along with it.
Stay with the girl who will choke me. I'll go and get candy on my own and not get choked.
So Carly Beth's new objective is to find her bullies, Chuck and Steve. And she scares a bunch of kids that she thought was Chuck and Steve. Yeah. At this point, she's kind of just looking to cause trouble. Her voice is even scarier and deeper and more monstrous. Eventually, she does find Chuck and Steve, and she does her little bit where it's like, look, I killed Carly Beth, that's her head, and Chuck and Steve they're very spooked.
They did a doo-doo in their pants?
Oh, absolutely. It's not mentioned, but it's implied.
They brown pants.
And then the head starts talking and says, help me.
Yeah.
And that scares Carly Beth, and it causes her to drop the broom and the mask falls into a bush. Chuck and Steve run away. Carly Beth runs into the night, eventually meets back up with Sabrina, and they go home, and they...
Just forgets about it. Just like, yeah, whatever. Whatever.
It's just candy. So they go to count their candy. Carly Beth has stolen a lot of candy from kids. She's been pretty mean. And then Carly Beth goes to take the mask off, but she can't. The mask has glue to her face, and...
Hang on. It's not glued to her face.
Yeah. Well, she thinks it is anyway. Sabrina goes to check, and there's no scene where the mask meets the neck. And Carly Beth looks in the mirror, and she realizes that her eyes are no longer her own eyes. And she's freaking out, Sabrina's freaking out. So Carly Beth just runs out of the house and goes screaming into the night, and she's terrified that she's become a monster, that the mask is no longer a mask but her own face. Yeah. So she goes back to the mask shop, but the store is closed. but it's okay because the store vendor comes out. He's like, I've been expecting you. I need to take the mask off. You can't take the mask off anymore. It is now your face. Let me show you. And they go back to the secret section in the shop, and he explains that much like in Say, Choose and Die, this is the part where I start to lose it a bit, where the mask shop owner was an inventor, and he invented faces. Like the masks are not masks, they're real faces that he created. And they eventually became ugly, and he calls them the unloved.
The unloved ones.
The unloved ones.
Yeah.
He tells her, there is one way to take off the mask, but you can only take it off once, and that's important. It requires an act of love. So Carly Beth doesn't really know what that means. And then the masks come to life, and they start chasing after her. And it's a bit silly, but
I think it's the masks want to be worn as well. Like the unloved ones found, like they see Carly Beth as somebody who would like willingly wear one of them, and then I think they're like, wear us too, bitch. I think that's how
my interpretation of it was, I think it's implied. I think Carly Beth actually asked herself that question, where the unloved ones are going to make her one of them, like another mask in the section. It's a bit unclear, but maybe that's for the best.
But yeah, like I don't know why they want to do that. Surely they, if one of them finds their way onto a person, why would their then goal be then to like take that face back off and put it on the, like they take Carly Beth, they kill Carly Beth probably in the process, but I don't know.
No, they're not taking the mask back. They're making her
into a mask.
Yeah, part of the crew. Yeah. So her rationale is, I'm going to go back and find my plaster of Paris head, and I'm going to trick them into thinking that that's actually Carly Beth, and they'll take the head instead. So she goes rummaging around the bushes where she spooked Chuck and Steve. She can't find it. Oh wait, she can. Classic cliffhanger chapter endings. And she puts the head on to trick them, and then she can't hear the masks anymore. So she takes the head off, and she realizes she can take the mask off now because the plaster of Paris head was made by her mom as an act of love, and that cures her of maskitis.
That whole ending part there kind of lost me. None of what was happening was explained very well. Just kind of happened.
I think the head actually like curing her or whatever is set up.
Like an act of love. Like, sure, but the
like
whole reason why she's like running out and everything, I don't think it's like as clear as it can be.
I think the reason why she took the mask out in the first place is quite clever and is a nice setup.
Yeah, that's all.
It all comes together.
I mean, specifically the very end when she goes to get it. That part, none of it's written quite clear enough.
No, fair enough. So she returns home, and she's, it's the classic, oh mum, you won't believe what a day I've had. She has no resolution with Sabrina or Chuck and Steve, but kind of the point of the book was that Carly Beth learned to love herself for herself.
Yeah. So
the resolution, instead of being with the other characters, is just her, which is alright.
Yeah. We don't need to see it. You can 100% assume that it's going to happen.
Yes.
You don't need to see it.
Yeah. And then the little brother runs into the room and says, "Whoa, Carly Beth, this is a cool mask that I'm now wearing." Let's see the It kind of sounded like I hated it from the way I was describing it.
It always sounds like that.
Yeah, that's the problem.
It always sounds like that.
No, this was great. I would describe it as, what if Spider-Man 3 was a Goosebumps book? Because it is just kind of that dance scene.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
It is crazy how much the mask is like the Green Goblin.
Yes.
Very, very much like it.
It is just kind of fun. It is just kind of fun.
You okay?
He nodded. It is just kind of fun seeing like the main character terrorize an entire neighborhood.
Yeah, right. It's fun where this is one of like the Goosebumps books where there's nothing really scary happening all the time, but there's that really good sense of dread the whole time. And a whole lot of it is just Carly Beth being a prick and having a good time.
It's fun.
It's very fun to read.
And I love the descriptions of the mask because it touches on a lot of sensory stuff where it's like how the mask sounds when she puts it on, how it feels, how it smells. and it felt very real. Like it helped me sell the mask on the fact that it was a cool thing that she wanted to get that would scare people.
They spend a good 5 chapters at the start setting up her bullying and everything.
Yeah.
There's a science fair thing that she gets spooked at that and whatnot. Yeah. And it's all very simple, it's all very basic, but it works, and it goes a long way to putting you into her headspace that when she sees this disgusting mask, she goes, oh, this is my night. This is my chance.
She keeps reaffirming herself, this is my revenge, this is how I get back at Chuck and Steve.
Yeah. And I really do like her carrying around her head all around. And she says stuff like, this is the old Carly Beth. And they never really go out of their way to explain what she means, but it's this is the old me that was a scaredy cat that can get pushed around that I don't like. I'm making a new me, and I'm spooky, and I'm scary, and I'm in control, and I'm all the stuff that you guys do to me. And the ending at the end is, shut the fuck up, you Carly Beth. Enjoy yourself. It's all simple, and it's all well done because it is focused on. Include a clip from Alien here. I've had this in mind since I read the book. I'm worried I'm paraphrasing, but it's Ash talking about the xenomorph saying, I admire its purity.
I admire its purity.
Right.
That's the book. I admire its purity. It's so focused. Good book.
Why do you think the head was talking? I was sort of picturing it as a portrait of Dorian Gray thing, where her identity was transferring to the head.
No, I don't even think it was that.
Yeah.
I think it was just vaguely spooky, and Stein went good.
Yeah. Maybe Haunted Mask 2 will touch on it.
Yeah. Yeah, fuck. How the fuck are you write a sequel to this one? I can't wait. I cannot wait for that one. I'm bringing out my notes, because there's not a lot.
I don't write notes much anymore because, I don't know, a lot of what I have to say is just my feelings on the book.
Depends on the book. If it's we had this with Living Dummy. If it's a good book, there's nothing to say.
Oh, that's right. At the end of the book, Carly Beth's mum offers Carly Beth a glass of hot cider.
Yeah, fuck
that. Is that a thing?
Probably.
It's, okay.
So my last note is I admire its purity. My second last note is my end of book report, which I'm going to start doing from now on. Actually, I don't think I did it for Big Ever what you were trying to I said it almost completely ditches having deeper characters and bigger story to focus entirely on its core concept. There hasn't been a Goosebumps book like this so far, and while it felt weird from that point of view, I definitely think it worked and is the best book we've had so far. Spoilers for the end of the video.
Is Carly Beth your favorite main character, you reckon?
I don't know if she's my favorite main character, but she's definitely the best.
What does that mean? Personal taste?
Personal taste,
She's my favorite at least.
Yeah, she's probably the most complete, where she has her own unique voice, she goes through stuff, her character is changed by the end, but there have been you know what, no, I will say she is my favorite, but there are aspects in other main characters that I have
Hannah
preferred.
And Lucy.
Yes, I'm not going to be able to tell you who the fuck those are, but
Hannah from Ghost Next Door and Lucy from Gilda Monster.
Absolutely, those two are my go-to examples.
Yeah.
Yes, those two had aspects of them that I did really, really enjoy a lot. And they'll always be tugging at my mind every time you ask me this question.
That's alright.
Yeah, Carly Beth. You know what, Carly Beth? Yes.
TV adaptation.
I'd just like to reiterate that The Haunted Mask was the Goosebumps episodes that I watched a lot as a kid. So going back into it this time, I had a lot of nostalgia riding on it. I remember the most of it. I could pretty much remember the entire fucking 2-part thing.
Nice.
So going back and watching it was good because my taste when I was a kid was still good because it was fucking amazing. That was incredibly well done.
The first thing to note is this is the first adaptation they did. The writers said, we need to adapt The Haunted Mask first. They had good instincts, and they peaked at the very start, because I don't think we've had an adaptation quite as good.
The poor fools.
Yeah.
What's interesting about it is it perfectly takes the book and puts it into 2 episodes, and it also makes a couple very subtle changes that I think improve the story.
Somehow it improves The Haunted Mask.
Right? It's fuck. My go-to improvement is the random inventor guy at the very end. he actually explains his motives better in the TV show. Because he says that he made these masks because he didn't love his own face. So he made these fake ones for him to wear. And then over time, they grew ugly. And then he stopped wearing them. And I think that works so much better.
I think he actually is wearing one of the masks because he says there's a scar on his face. That's the mask gradually becoming ugly.
He says even this one now is starting to become unloved.
He's like, there's parallels between him and Carly Beth because Carly Beth also doesn't like who she is.
He's that extreme version of Carly Beth where she'll never love herself, and then therefore it doesn't matter what mask she wears, it will always be ugly.
The child acting.
Oh my fucking god, Carly Beth!
Carly Beth.
Come back to the industry, we miss you!
Catherine Long, was it?
Come back!
Yeah, I think so. It's the phenomenal acting. Yeah. Because she sells you on like this quiet, scaredy cat girl, and then when she has to be a fucking monster, she is having so much fun.
Her little laughter.
Look at her. Like physicality and shit. It's like, fuck. No, don't do it. I'm a virgin.
Like when she's wearing the mask? Yeah. Oh, always in my head.
Her physicality of just running around in the neighborhood, she didn't have to do that. A lot of actors forget the physicality and just focus on the voice.
Oh my fucking god.
It's crazy.
I had a really good time. I'd recommend everybody watching this right now to turn it off and go watch Haunted Mask instead. Because they did a fucking kick-ass job.
One weird thing though, part 1 ending.
What's it made of? It isn't made of real skin, is it?
Maybe.
It's made of the people that live in Paris.
It feels so warm.
Quiet, Serena.
I think
It's too light for that.
I think it's really disgusting. I said, but it's too weird for words. Shut up.
Okay. That's bad.
See you next time.
Next time we'll find out if she calms down. Oh, that's the worst cliffhanger we've had so far.
Terrible. That's the first cliffhanger of the show. That's been on par with the cliffhangers in the book.
And that's the first cliffhanger they ever did?
How did it... Oh, yeah, ending.
Yeah. Oh. She just has a freak out and then to be continued.
I think that was meant to be the scene where she strangles.
Yeah, you don't really see her strangling Sabrina.
No, I don't think they wanted to put strangulation on kids' TV.
It's a shame.
Yeah.
It's a shame. There was one thing else I wanted to mention during the scene where Carly Beth realizes she can't take the mask off anymore. They have a bit where Sabrina says, I can't find the seam.
Oh, what's the matter? There's no bottom to this mask. There's no line in between the mask and your skin. There's no place I can reach my hand in. That's crazy. That's just crazy.
Can't show that, obviously.
No.
Oh?
Never mind.
Oh, no,
Wow.
There's no line. There's no line here. I'm gonna tell my mom.
And I thought that they just weren't going to show where the skin met the mask because they weren't showing it. But then she gets to the mirror and they do show it and it looks really good.
We need to talk about the mask.
The mask.
Because I think how the mask looks in the TV show is like the best it's looked. Better than both covers of the book. I think they did a fucking amazing job with that mask. That's the kind of thing, I'd like to get a replica of that and hang it on my wall or something. Like, that looks fucking cool.
It's iconic.
It looks so fucking good. I want to go as a haunted mask for Halloween. What the hell? I'll be Carly Beth. I don't give a fuck. Give it up. So good. No, they kicked ass. I don't have anything to say. They did a fucking amazing job. They improved it when you wouldn't really think there'd need to be improvements.
Sabrina's just dressed as a cat instead of Catwoman.
Yeah, but that's allowed.
They do a really good job at like how all the other costumes look kind of shitty. Like Sabrina's cat costume looks pretty cheap.
Yeah.
And then it's Carly Beth's awesome moving mask.
They
like just a lot of thought put into like everything.
I wonder if it's the best episode because it was their first, so they're like, we need a fun, we need to divert all of our funds and everything into this 2 episodes, just to kick the door down.
And the other change that was good was when she's buying the mask, instead of just bullying the guy into it, she just takes it and throws the money at him.
Yeah, and runs out.
Yeah.
Guy gets to the door and he's locking it and he's like fucking mad that he's been bamboozled by a kid. She turns around to return it and he's locked the door. It's like he's saying, fuck you, have fun. It's good. His acting was fine as well.
He just did a Dracula voice.
That's all he had to do. It's an incredibly simple character. He's just there to exposit in the end. And again, they improved him. They added stuff to him. And the only other thing that I can really think to mention is the R.L. Stein introduction. And,
we got one more after Welcome to Dead House.
Yeah. What was his joke?
Now that wasn't too scary, was it? Let's ask my family. Mom? Dad? What did you think?
Okay. It's way better than him just talking to the dog.
Yeah. Oh god. Mom, Dad, what did you think? Pog.
They thought Pog.
Well, see that, kids? They thought it was Pog. Have a scary night.
Beware, you're in for a Pog.
Poggers beware.
I love R.L. Stein so much.
What a cutie.
Yeah, he's great. They changed the spooking Chuck and Steve scene to a cemetery.
Yeah, that was good.
I liked that.
I like that they buried the Carly Beth mask as well.
Yeah,
it was
that
like she
makes
was saying
sense.
here lies Carly Beth dead. It was good.
They just add more stuff in to make it better.
Yeah. It just.
You're not allowed to do that, but you did it anyway.
Oh, dude.
Holy shit. We're going to talk about the next book now.
Treasure. Pirate's treasure.
Wait, what? Where did they get that?
They're counting the candy they've got them.
Okay.
They're just doing it in a cemetery.
It's just a cool thing to do.
Yeah, I don't know what you do with your candy, but I take it straight to the local pile of dead people. And I go, hey, who wants to count my candy with me?
Be careful what you wish for is utterly fine. Probably worse than utterly fine. I really don't have a lot to say about it. It's a weird one.
This book, I don't think I've had so little say about any book so far. It's not the worst book we've read. It's definitely not the best book we've read.
It's like, I always go back to Say Cheese and Die, where it was like the most nothing book, but it had good ideas. This has nothing. And it's not even like bad nothing, like in like Camp Nightmare.
That's the lazy bad, where there's no effort put into it, and at the end they just say, well, book's over, go home. I'm going to get a bit of shit for this, but I'm going to say it. I kind of like the ending.
No, I kind of like it too.
Yeah?
No, yeah. I kind of see where he was going with it.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think the ending's my favorite part.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
for sure.
It's one of those things, you're not getting any shit for this at all.
Oh, good. Because when we were talking about it earlier, I got the impression you didn't like the ending.
I didn't like any of it, but the ending was a bit better.
Yeah.
I'm just going to get to it.
Sure.
So this book is about a tall girl from Netflix. Her name is Samantha Bird with a Y. And she's tall and she's a klutz. She's a big klutz. She's a silly girl. Always knocking stuff over. And she's not very popular. She has one friend. And this kid that she's friends with, he's always complaining that he's getting curried egg. No, it's
grilled cheese.
Grilled cheese.
Yeah.
I think she mentions curried egg sandwiches
Yeah.
once. Yeah. He gets a grilled cheese sandwich and he's like, I tell my dad I don't want the grilled cheese because by the time I get to have it at lunch, it's all soggy and it's hardened and it's ruined. And then he just throws it in the bin every time or something. Anyway, she plays basketball because she's tall, and her teacher, who goes by her first name, because at her school all the teachers go by their first names for some quirky, crazy, dumb fucking reason.
Don't expect that to be important.
No, God no.
Yeah.
So the basketball coach says, hey, you're tall. You should play basketball. It'd be good to build up some confidence. And Samantha goes, no, teach. I'm a klutz. And she goes, I don't care. And then the teacher immediately regrets having her on the basketball team because she's a big dumb klutz and can't do anything right. On the basketball team, there's two girls. What are their names?
Judith and Amber.
Judith and
I'm pretty sure it's Amber.
We're gonna...
I know it's Judith.
Anna!
I was close.
Very close. Judith, I can't believe it was like the one page that I went to had both of their names.
Yes.
Judith and Anna. Judith is the popular girl, and Anna is popular girl's best friend. So they're always making fun of Sam for being a big klutz. What's their phrase? They say fly away bird.
Yes.
They go fly away bird. Psh, laugh at her.
Something interesting is Judith is very pretty, and Samantha's always complaining about how ugly she is, and Corey's like, you have other qualities too.
Yeah.
It's like, don't say that to a girl.
Shut the fuck up.
No one wants to hear that.
So school bullying happens. That's like a quarter of the book for you right there. On her way home from school one day, she passes this woman who was lost. And this woman is like, oh, hello, darling. Hello, Angel. Could you help me find my way to insert street name here?
Oxford Street.
Oxford Street.
No, was it? No, it's not.
No, it wasn't. Can you help me find...
I know why I'm thinking of Oxford Street, and it's too long to explain, so I'm not going to bother.
Can you help me find Elm Street? And
Yeah.
she goes, oh, you're quite a bit away from Elm Street. And this woman goes, I'll make it worth your while. I really would appreciate the help. So the girl, Samantha, goes, well, fuck it. I shouldn't. And this woman is weird, but fuck it. And she does it. She helps her all the way there. And this woman goes, thank you so much. My name is... Clarissa. How would you like 3 wishes?
It's important to mention that earlier on, Samantha was really hoping that she'd get 3 wishes because she feels like that would solve all of her life's problems.
She hourly mentions it, does she?
Yeah,
she does too, doesn't
Yeah.
she? Wow.
Carly Beth doesn't say at the start of the book, wow, I really
hope I can learn to love myself.
No, it's, I want a haunted mask, please. Please.
So then she goes, 3 wishes, anything that you want. And Samantha's like, I don't know, you seem a bit crazy. And she goes, 3 wishes, please, trust me. And then she goes, oh, fine, whatever. I want to be the best player on the basketball team. And like she goes, as you wish. And she holds this orb, and the orb glows red, and her eyes glow red. And she goes, done, see you tomorrow.
And then she fucks off.
And she fucking leaves.
It's not really explained. I guess she's just going to come back the next day to grant another wish.
No, she just kind of goes, well, that was 1 wish, bye, see ya. Never mentions meet me again here tomorrow for your 2nd wish.
No.
So then,
she's playing basketball.
Basketball's happening. Her fucking family. She has dinner with her brother, and she wants to explain, wow, I saw this weird woman the other day, but she goes like nobody's gonna fucking listen to her. So she goes, hey, why don't you come out and play basketball with me in the driveway? The brother's very good at basketball. He's like a straight A fucking student or whatever. The brother's like, oh, I've got to study for a test, and the dad's like, go play some fucking basketball. You're fucking shitty, you fucking. And he goes, fine. And then she's like, oh my God, I'm going to shoot a hoop, I'm going to be the best basketball player. She goes, whoa, and she sucks. And the brother's like, ha ha ha, wow, you suck. I'm going to go and study now. And then she goes, fine, I guess the wish didn't work. And she goes to sleep. And she goes to school the next day, and they're playing like a big game. And Judith is like, don't mess it up, bird. What do they say? They say tall. Oh, they've got some dumb fucking insult for her involving her being tall. She's like, don't fuck it up for us. This is an important game. We want to win. Just don't do anything. And then everybody playing the game, shit. Everybody on their team, terrible. They're getting tired. They're stumbling. They can't make any shots. Samantha gets up. She's trying to dribble. She's failing. She's going to make a shot. She misses. But she is the best player on the team.
She got her wish.
Everybody else just sucks fucking donkey dick. So then she's all pumped up and she's rubbing it in her fucking face. She's being a right prick. She's like, come on, let's go team! And everyone's like, shut the fuck up, bud. And then everybody's like, what the hell was up with that? What are you so happy for? And she's like, oh, I don't know, I'm just the best player on the team now. And everyone's like, ugh. And then
Judith suspects something's going on.
Judith's like, what the fuck's going on here? Yeah. Next day, Judith and Anna don't show up. So then she's all like, oh my God, what if I've killed these 2 girls? And she goes to the school nurse with her brother, because when you have a sick day, you've got to call into the school nurse and let them know. So they're like, you got to tell me what's happening to my friend, and she goes, they're just in bed sick. They just didn't come today. So then she calls up Judith to does she go there?
Yeah, she does.
She goes there and she's like, wow, what's happened? Are you okay? And she goes, are you a witch? Did you curse me? And then Sam's just like,
Panic. Play the Key and Peele gif.
yeah, it's that. And then she's all like, you're totally fine, but all the other girls on the basketball team, we're all suffering. I bet you're a fucking witch. Yada, yada, yada. She runs away. There's a phone call at some point.
What does she do when she leaves the house?
I can't remember. I don't know. What does she do?
She wishes that Judith would disappear.
Oh, yeah.
That's kind of important.
I completely... I'm getting it confused with the TV show, that's why.
No, there you go.
That's why. She goes, oh, I wish Judith would disappear, and then Clarissa goes, as you wish, out of nowhere. She was not in the scene. And
No.
she goes, as you wish. All glows red, eyes glow red.
And it's important to mention that it's not that whenever she says a wish, Clarissa grants it regardless of where she is. No, because earlier she does wish that her brother was 1 foot tall.
And that doesn't happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She even mistakes him for the dog.
It's so fucking...
Yeah, poor guy.
So not only is Judith gone, everyone's gone.
That's not twisting the wish. That's making shit up.
That is not like a monkey paw twist on a wish.
No.
That is just wishing one person was gone and resulting in like everyone being gone. That's not like another side of the wish. That's just dumb.
And what you generally do in stories like this is your main character has a wish, they ask for it, and then they get it, but there's a twist.
Yeah, something
Here, if
else
she
happens.
accidentally announces a wish and she doesn't realize Clarissa's hiding behind a bush or whatever, that's not interesting. That's not fun. It's just a way to drive the plot, I guess.
She's running around town
Yeah.
and there's no one there. Her family isn't there. No one's at the school. And she's like, oh my god, I'm going to be alone forever. And then Clarissa goes, oh, did you not like the second wish?
She doesn't disappear.
She didn't disappear
No.
for some fucking
Yeah.
reason. And she's like, I can run this wish back for you if you want. And you can make your third and final wish. But be careful what you wish for. And then Sam goes, let me think about it for a second. She goes, I've got the perfect wish. I want everything to go back to the way it was. And I want that dumb skank Judith to be like in love with me. I want her to think that I'm the best person ever. And then she goes, oh, as you wish. All glows red, eyes glow red. What? And then everything's back to normal. And she goes
This
to
is where I
school.
start liking the book.
It gets fun from here.
Yes.
I agree with you. It gets
Yeah.
fun from here. Everything up till now is a bit like, what the fuck are you doing? Everything from
Yeah.
here is like, oh. Stein started enjoying the plot at this point. So she goes to school and everything's normal. And then Judith rocks up and she's like, oh, hi Sam, you're looking amazing today. Oh my god, I love what you've done with your hair. Can I carry your bags for you? Can we
She's
go
a
to the
simp.
locker? She is absolutely simping. They're playing basketball and Judith is like passing the ball to Sam and she's like, go on Sam, take the shot, you're amazing. You're the best player we have. And Anna's like, what the fuck are you doing, Judith?
We should make Sam the team leader.
Yeah, that's right. Before we play the game, everybody, I think that we should appoint Sam as our leader. We should make our best player the leader. And everyone's like, shut the fuck up. Game's done. They lost.
Yeah.
Sam's getting really sick of Judith. And Judith is just like, can I come over and study with you later tonight? Because you're so smart. I just want to be able to like do my homework like you do. You're so smart. And she goes, I'll think about it. Leave me alone. And she goes home. And she goes into her room. And then, Judith's there?
Yeah.
Judith,
comes
comes out of the closet?
She wants help with her homework, I think.
Yeah. She just comes out and she's like, she strangled her, or Sam thought she was being strangled and it was just Judith was behind her or something.
Yeah.
And then Sam runs out of the house and she finds Clarissa. And Clarissa's like, oh, are you not enjoying your last wish? I didn't want you to be unhappy. I guess I can give you a final wish if that makes it better for you. And Sam's like, fucking please! And she's like so sick of Judith. And she goes, I wish that I never met you. I wish that Judith met you instead. She goes, as you wish. Red orb, red eyes. Final chapter. Judith is talking to Clarissa, and Sam's a bit further away. It's Judith and Anna's there as well, I think.
I'm not sure.
And Sam's just like, oh, I wonder what they're talking about. You know, thank God she's not my problem anymore. And Judith kind of like looks at Bird and says, fly away, Bird. And then Sam's just kind of like, oh, there's a really nice worm over there. I guess I'll just fly over there. And she spreads her wings. She flies away. And she's a bird. End of the book.
End of the book. What I like about the ending is it's the first time where I feel like Stein got the point of the story, which is to be careful what you wish for. Yeah. Sam thought, here's something clever. If I get Judith to make the wishes, the same thing's going to happen to her. And I like that backfires on her because that's still her wish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's fun where this is a Goosebumps book where there's no character arc.
No.
Sam is the same the whole way and she fucking suffers for it.
It's interesting how these two books kind of start the same and they end in very different places.
A very interesting book. I would never read it again. I would not recommend anyone else read it. So fucking weird.
Very mid.
The last chapter was fun.
Yes.
Because you're reading it and you're like, what? You put the book down.
And it's just fun seeing Judith like pawn over Sam and everyone's just so fed up with it.
All the Judith scenes at the end were fun.
Yes.
And you know what? Yeah, I kind of do like where it ends with Sam getting fucking like dunked on. I don't know. There's nothing to say about this book. We've said.
Yeah.
I'm gonna check my
Let's
notes,
check those
but
just in
honestly,
case.
we've said everything. There's nothing to it. It is the most. I don't even want to say it's mid. It's like whatever's below mid, but still isn't bad. Like that mid. Yeah, that's sub mid.
So at one point, Sam is set up with a dentist appointment, I believe. Do you remember the name of the dentist?
No.
Dr. Stone. I thought you were going to mention that.
No.
I wrote it specifically to say prediction. Jared mentions that the dentist's name is Dr. Stone.
No, I'm not going to make a stupid anime reference.
Alright, fair enough.
I would, however, like to point out the name of the dog. Do you remember the dog's name?
God, no.
Pumpkin.
Oh! How did I not remember that?
P-I-N. Pumpkin.
Is that... Did they have like a lisp as a kid? They were trying to say pumpkin?
I reckon he fucking had a brain aneurysm and he forgot how to write pumpkin and he didn't want to admit to it. And he was like, why have a dog named Pumpkin? Leave it.
I think at one point, I think it's Corey, he mentions he went to socials. No, it's Judith. She mentions she's in, when she's accusing Samantha of being a witch, that when she was doing social studies, she learned about witches. You don't learn about witches in social studies.
What the fuck?
That was weird. And yep, that's everything I have to say about be careful what you wish for.
Yeah, that's it. Talk about the TV show.
Why not?
You start. What the fuck happened in the TV show? It was fine. It was one episode.
That was the thing I was going to mention. This was a one-parter, and thank you.
There's no way in hell you could stretch this out to 2 episodes. So I'm so glad they didn't try.
The first thing they open is on the basketball game, and they made a choice.
Go on, mention the music. Go on.
Can we stop with the royalty-free music, please?
Yeah.
I'm begging you. I feel like I'm watching Space Jam.
I was going to say Space Jam music.
It was very distracting, and they play it every time they do the basketball game.
You will be the best player on the team.
One, two, three, Monty!
Oh god. Right back to the music.
Anybody home?
Oh god, a third time? I know it's a rule, but goddamn.
When I do the intro and the outro, instead of the Goosebumps theme, it's gonna be this music.
No, you can't do it. Could if you can actually find like a rip of just the music.
Generic basketball music.
Like,
It was a comedy for a lot of those scenes. They were really playing up how much of a klutz she is, how silly she is. She's always falling over. She's very bad at basketball.
Yes. I think she gets caught in like the monkey bars at one point.
Oh yeah, she falls on some mats or.
Oh, that wasn't while they were playing basketball though. They were at gym.
Yeah, she gets caught and a whole bunch of like quirky, crazy klutz shit.
I was really worried they would make like Clarissa super extra and just overact the hell out of it.
Moose Deuce.
Yes, she was fine.
Yeah,
she was fine.
Honestly, she was pretty good.
Yeah.
They really played into how much she like cared.
Yeah, like she genuinely was trying to do what was best for Samantha's interest.
Yeah. It was interesting where the witch, like herself, wasn't really evil. She was just a witch, and magic is a bit weird.
Do you want to talk about?
Be careful.
Yes. Do you want to talk about what happens when Sam brings Clarissa to where she wanted to go?
What?
The street sign they have up.
Oh, I don't know how I could have got so lost.
what the fuck?
That's not how street signs work.
That's so clearly not a street.
They couldn't find anywhere called Moss Avenue.
Yeah, no,
Guys, our street sign budget ran out.
I don't even need to see the street sign. You could just have Samantha go, well, here we are, this is Moss Avenue, and it's like, cool, we're done, forever.
Oh, what? The fucking like set they threw up under a bridge somewhere, and they're like, yeah, this is a street.
Yeah, there's a street sign right there. What are you talking about?
Forgot about that. It's so fucking dumb.
Yeah.
And it looks nothing like anywhere else in the episode.
It's strange.
It's like they went and filmed for like 1 second in New York under like the dirtiest fucking bridge they could find, and then the rest of it was filmed like in like a more suburban area. Like,
is there any scenes inside a house?
One.
Yeah.
And we need to mention one of their changes to get to it.
Oh yeah.
So the reason I was confused in the book section is because in the TV show, instead of saying, I wish that she would disappear, I've already forgotten her name, Judith.
Yes.
Instead of saying, I wish that Judith would disappear, she says, why don't you all just buzz off?
I wish everyone would just buzz off.
And then everybody turns into fucking flies.
Yes.
Everyone. And she says this at school instead of at Judith's house.
Yes.
And then everybody around her flies. And she's trying not to step on people, and she can be like, oh look, that's Judith. That's Anna. Oh, hi, Mr. Teacher.
Bobby!
That's a really good out of context clip.
I have nothing to say to that.
Oh, there was some part where she walks past like a school bus. And the doors open and just a horde of flies come out.
And there's too many flies for a pretty tiny school bus.
Yeah.
And the flies, of course, they don't look real. They look like they were just drawn onto the frame. So what was
and I think she goes into like her house and she's like,
Yes.
Mom and Dad, flies.
So
And
that's
then,
the one
like,
scene in the
Clarissa's
house.
there. I think so.
Yeah.
I can't think of anything else.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the other change.
The ending.
Judith's wish.
Yes.
Can you please tell me what Judith's wish was?
So Judith wished to everyone for her to stand and admire her, and her.
I think she said, everywhere I go, I want people to stand and admire me.
I wish that wherever I was, people would gather around and admire me.
Yeah, something like that, and she turns into a statue.
Yeah.
So why I don't like this ending? First of all, it's not a statue. It's like a weird paint over effect where she's just standing still. Second of all, it's really jarring, and I was really confused when I first looked at it.
What?
She became a statue.
Why did they change the ending?
She gets what she wanted. Instead of being careful what you wish for, she got what she wished for. And third of all, it ruins the ending for me personally, because the idea of Samantha getting her comeuppance, not being careful what she wished for, is more fun than just getting revenge on Judith.
Like getting her last wish, like right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Utterly fine.
Yeah.
Weird changes. End of the day, I don't care.
I'm glad it was one episode, so we didn't have to sit through it for too long.
If I was looking at R.L. Stein's works and I had to pick books to adapt, I would not have picked this one because there's nothing to it.
No. We didn't get Night of the Living Dummy, but we got Be Careful What You Wish For.
Stupid.
I wish you met Judith instead.
That's...
So, you know what you're gonna wish for?
Are they supposed to turn back time?
Are you doing here, bird?
They didn't do anything, they just walked over.
So we made it easy and we've cleared the #1 spot prior because there's no way in hell Haunted Mars is going anywhere else.
Na 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 na, na 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 na, hey hey, you're #2.
So the tough question is, I was saying this off camera, I've got no fucking clue where this one goes.
I want to put it below Say Cheese and Die.
I wanna... No. Yes, okay.
Alright,
Wow.
Number 10? Lucky number 10.
Number 10.
Okay.
There we go. That was an easy one.
Yeah.
This board's looking pretty good now.
Yeah.
I'm pretty happy
Almost full.
Yeah. Well, we've got a pretty decent amount of books on here.
Yes.
We've definitely got our favourites. Our top 5 is looking pretty good. At this point, I
Sure.
definitely recommend reading the top 5.
Jared? Do you know what books we're reading next month?
Werewolf of Fever Swamp is the second one. The first one... I have it...
It's a dumb one.
I have it out and my bookmark is in it.
Yes.
I can't remember what it is.
Damn it!
What is
We
it?
were so close. Piano Lessons Can Be Murder.
I can't fucking wait!
You have sold me on the title alone. My mum's a piano teacher as well, so I'm very excited to analyze the accuracy of it.
Is it going to be the piano is evil or is it going to be the piano teacher is evil?
The cover doesn't give you any hints, does it?
What is like bloody hands playing?
No, it's not
piano?
even bloody. They're just floating hands playing the piano. I can't wait. Also, werewolves are cool. Like, it's very hard to fuck up werewolves, so look out, Stein. Do not fuck up the werewolf book.
Did the Quarry fuck up werewolves? Do we know?
I didn't play it.
I haven't played it yet either.
Yeah.
I haven't even picked it up yet.
No,
I'm just
it's
got a
all
copy
good.
waiting for me at work.
Here is, what's a famous game review website?
IGN, but
Yeah, here's the IGN score. There you go.
I wonder what R.L. Stein thinks of the Quarry.
I know what R.L. Stein thinks of Peacemaker, so...
No, he loved it, did he? Loved the intro.
Yeah.
Did he say anything about the show
I
itself,
don't
or was
think
it just
so.
the intro?
It might have been just the intro. But there's another important thing. What's so special about next month, Jared?
Oh, is it the anniversary next month?
Yes, it is.
Oh, what is
30
it?
years. 30 years since
So,
Welcome to Dead House.
I guess our next video is going to be the 30 year special.
Yeah. Do we have anything planned?
Maybe.
You'll have to find out.
We have something planned.
Shut up.
See you next time, guys.